All right, we're going to open up Blender 4.3.2, go to 2D animation, which brings up our grease pencil. If I start drawing with the mouse, I don't really like the line, so I'm going to undo that and bring up the strength to 1. I like that better. If I switch to my drawing tablet, though, and draw, I don't quite get what I want. You might want that, but it is pressure sensitive, which is good, but I want that lighter pressure, not to actually draw a lighter line, but just to draw a thinner line. And to fix that, we undo fixed strength pressure, and now it goes from dark, thin, to dark, thicker line. That's more what I want. Okay, my radius is set to 0.01. I can leave that for now. One more thing that I'm going to want to do, though, each time I run Blender, is just smooth my line a little bit. It's a bit wobbly. To do that, we go stroke, stabilize stroke, and I usually bring these right down to the minimums, maybe just bring up factor slightly. And now if I draw, I'm getting a much smoother line. It's just going to make it easier and faster for me to draw. I don't want to have to do this every time I open up Blender, so what I do is I go File, and I go Defaults, Save Startup File. And yep, I want to overwrite that. I'm going to use a scroll wheel. I can zoom in and out. By the way, if I accidentally do something and end up like this and don't know where I am, just click the camera button here, and that'll take you back. Okay? All right, we should be good. I'm going to load an image in the background, so I will go from here to object mode. I'll go Add, Image, Reference. I'm going to go to my Downloads folder. I'm going to look for Donald Duck, and there's Donald. Now, I might want to just lighten this up a little bit. Let's move him. I can make him a bit bigger. There we go. Try and get him more or less in the middle. With the empty selected, or that layer selected, I'll go down here to Object Data Properties. I'm going to select opacity and just bring the opacity down. Okay, we're ready to start drawing, but I can't go back into draw mode for some reason, and that's because the empty layer inside of the collection is selected. I need to click this stroke layer, and then I can go back into draw mode, and now we should be ready to go. I'm just going to draw his head. I'm using Shift middle mouse, and I can move. I'm pressing the middle mouse, pressing it straight down. If I scroll with it, I'll zoom. If I press with it, okay, so I just pressed it, but I'm going to click the toggle camera view again, hold down the Shift, then press, and then we can move around to maneuver. Press the middle mouse. So Shift, middle mouse. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to start drawing the head. Okay, that was pretty bad. Now the good news is Control Z simply undoes if you get a line that isn't to your liking. These lines do not need to be perfect. Okay, that's one thing to think about because we're going to fix them up afterwards. I'm going to go fairly quickly here. After you've drawn a few times with the tablets, you do start to get a bit faster. But again, the good news is your lines don't need to be perfect. It's a bit messy, but oh well. Okay, time to clean up the lines a little bit. That actually looks pretty good. To clean them up, all we do is go to Sculpt mode, and the button that you're going to need, or the key you're going to need, is the F key, and that allows you to adjust the area of influence. And then you click with the mouse once you've got the radius set to the area of influence you want. I'm only going to use 3. We've got smooth, just hover over top, it'll tell you what it is. Grab, and I'm going to use pull. I like grab. Then I can just grab this area. Look at that. I've already got this line pretty much where I want it. I'm going to use smooth on this section here, and I'm going to change my area of influence and just run it over top and smooth those lines out a bit. Okay, that's pretty good. Then I'm going to use grab again, and shift the lines over and get them roughly where they're supposed to be. And that's actually looking pretty good. I'm not going to do the whole thing right now. You can see I pushed that out a little bit. So I'm going to just undo that. Oh, okay, that's going to need some smoothing. Just a little bit of smooth. That's all it takes. Then I can go back to grab and I can get that so there isn't that sort of sharp point around Donald Duck's eye. Okay, that should pretty much do it. You can make yours a little bit better, but let's go into color now. We'll go into fills. So a few steps for fills. First thing we do is select the fills layer. We better be in draw mode, okay, not sculpt mode. Then we select the bucket fill. Then we also should go to solid fill up here. Now, I'm going to make this easy. We're going to click on this button here, and if I were to click inside this window, look what happens. It turns green, but the whole thing turns green. I just want the beak part to turn green. That's because there's some gaps here. So I'm going to undo that, and we're going to adjust for gaps by clicking on Advanced, and we're going to go, let's see, gap closure. I'm going to bring that up to maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's still not giving me enough. I'm going to use the scroll wheel to increase. I'm using the scroll wheel to increase the size. And notice down here that gap is now closed. Okay, so there we go, that worked. And that worked as well too, except for I don't want them green. So all we do is click on that to change the color. I want kind of an orangey color for the beak. Now these colors, don't forget, have been lightened. And so what we might want to actually do at this point, so we can really match the colors nicely, is make the background visible, like fully visible. Get rid of the alpha that we set on it, or the opacity. I'll select it here. We'll go to object mode. We'll then, with the empty selected, we'll bring that right up, or just uncheck opacity, either one. All right, let's go back to the stroke. We'll go back here to draw mode. We've got the bucket fill, solid fill, and our color selected. And now, and make sure you're on the right layer, which is fills down here. So now what I'll do is undo the background. That's actually, we did a pretty good job on that, I think. And we want a bit of a darker color for this part of the beak. And actually what I can do is disable the stroke layer too to see if I match the color. And I didn't do a perfect job. It's a little more yellowy. So let's see if we can fix this a little bit. Just a bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, that looks better right there. So now when I draw it there, that's a bit better. Well, we can't tell because I think that's better. Okay. Let's get this background color, the darker mouth color drawn. And all we do is just darken this a little bit. Pull it, I don't know, right there. I'm not great with colors. I don't expect you to be perfect. Close enough. Let's get a blue for the eyes, and then I think I'll stop there. I think you get the idea. Oh, that's actually not bad. And if I disable the background, you can see we've got this pretty much done. Okay, I need a pink layer. Let's just finish this off. You can be a little more picky about getting the colors just right. And then we need black. Black's easy. We just select it right here. Fill the eyes in. And if I disable the background, look at that. We've got Donald Duck's head done. Hopefully that gets you started. You're going to need to save this at the end. So we're going to go File, Save. And we're going to give it a name. I'll call it Donald.blend. Make sure you've got it in a folder that you want. You could select the folder up here. I'm going to save that. And a couple more things that we could do, by the way. I want to go render. I want to render the image. So we'll render it. And we've only done the head so far, so that's right. And then we'll go Image, Save. And when we save the image, we have two choices. We can go PNG or JPEG. I'll just leave it as PNG. That's fine. And I'll click, make sure the folder's right. I'll give this a name, Donald.png. Save as image, and we're good. I can close this down, but you're also going to do a build. And with the build, what we do is we click on modifiers. We'll add a modifier, and we're going to go build under generate. It's going to say how many frames it's going to take. There, I like that. That's fine. Okay. And now if we go like this, let's get rid of the background image. We don't see anything. Okay. And now we'll see the thing being built slowly in 100 images. Okay, do you see that? There we go. It looks pretty good to me. So it has disappeared on you when you go to draw on this, but you're going to be finished your drawing. There's ways to get that back, but let's not worry about that for now. So now we go up to render. We're going to render an animation. Make sure that your folders and stuff have been selected. Actually, I'm going to stop this. We're going to go here to output. Sorry, printer, like the output. And we need to select the right file format. So we're going to select, let's see here, FFmpeg video. That's what we want right there. Encoding, H.264 is good. Yeah, medium quality is all fine. Everything looks good to me. Okay, so now, oh, and we can select, yes, we've selected everything we need there. We need to select our output folder. Okay, that's critical as well too. We'll go to D, I'm gonna go to Blender, Demo, right here is fine. Accept that. And now we go render, render animation. All right, our animation is done. We're going to close this down. I'm going to open up and see if I can find the file here. We put it into D. It's Blender, and we should see something that looks like this. It'll just be numbers. And if we try to play that, I'll play it with VLC Player. And we've got our animation should be in here somewhere. Oh, wait a second. Maybe it's here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we actually did a 250 frame animation because I didn't reset the number of frames down below. We have it set ending at 250. We just need to set that to 100, and we are good to go.